Hey, Eric.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11 through 18. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, Alex, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all of this, take up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all of the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
Amen?
Amen.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Explain.
Alex is a Christ warrior. He's bearing the armor of God, Althena.
Was Alex actually in the Bible?
Alex was not. I added that one word.
Okay,
the rest was verbatim from...
Okay, I was trying to figure out when I should stop believing it was true.
No, all of that was verbatim from whatever version of the Bible I Googled, and then I added Alex to that one word.
Okay, good.
But
good.
This is something that... I'm reading a book called Wild Faith by Talia Lavin at the moment, and she cites multiple things about how people are actually trying to interpret this literally, about how you need the armor of God to fight atheists or fucking Democrats,
like
whatever.
My AR-15
right,
and my Kevlar?
Right.
Okay.
However, Alex, like the believers, is also collecting the armor of his God.
Alex is a 3%er.
Therefore, Lunar is the Bible. Influenced.com.
Well, I mean, most of these video games are the Bible, right?
Yeah.
The JRPGs, at least.
It's like picking and choosing from various parts. I believe this to be a direct influence upon Lunar.
Well,
Do not cite me.
We have the dragon ring, and we now have the dragon shield. So now we're on to the
breastplate, helmet,
the armor, and the helmet are the last two that we need.
Whatever we can use to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one.
Oh, good. I think there are going to be some flaming arrows coming up. I'm not sure if they're from evil.
The helmet of salvation and the sword of spirit.
Hot sounds? Question mark.
Shepherd.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast covering classic Japanese role-playing games, chapter by chapter, beat by beat. Welcome back to Season 7, covering Lunar, the Silver Star. This is episode 35. I don't think we're going to get it under 40, but I think we're going to get it under 50, guys. So it's coming. My name is Chris, and I'm also joined, as always, by Eric in this here basement at a different time than we normally record. So
First ever 5:30 recording.
We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of sick-ass scholars who are watching us record this podcast live on a secret video feed at patreon.com/retroam.
You didn't introduce me.
I said I'm Chris, and I was joined by Eric. I think I did. Check the tape. My name is Chris, and I'm also joined, as always, by Eric.
Oh, hey, Chris. We're also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion, who's one of the voices inside the head of Indica, the protagonist of the video game Indica.
Initializing FakeNet.
I'm proud to use my new voice and my new nationality to be one of the voices inside your head.
Hi, FakeNet. Thank you for joining us today. We are getting some rave reviews on the new Australian FakeNet voice.
Oh, good. That's the way it's going to be until it isn't, or until it won't be anymore, because these things disappear.
We will adjust on the fly as we need to. Now, before we get into it, I need to, what do we used to call this segment?
Egregious oversights and corrections?
Egregious oversights and corrections, which is something that we haven't had to do in a while because we have a FakeNet. But in this case...
because we don't make mistakes, Chris.
Yeah, we don't make mistakes. Well, I did make a mistake on the last one. There was a you-are situation, a your situation that I said that the remaster did not fix. But in fact, the remaster did correct that grammar. Somehow, I got that reversed in my brain, and I thought that maybe they did not. But
Chris's country grammar did not survive.
The Marriott dialogue did a number on me. Like, that was difficult to get through.
You must eat breakfast before you do that episode for the rest of time. When someone goes to Marriott, Chris must have food in his stomach. This time, though, we've just gotten our instructions from the elder. We have to go to the shrine to beat up the wind to get to the blue dragon.
The shrine to beat up... No, we're not... Well, yes, we have to fix the wind, which will fix the town music, which will then allow us to find dragon. But doing that is not the trial.
No.
I don't think.
This is how we get access to the trial. So I enter that shrine, and the fucked up music is still playing. There's small blue-silver floors, musical note symbols on the brick ground, closed door at the opposite end. The 3 guys are in here, and I think they might say things different than they said last time.
They do. The first green-haired guy says, "We opened the door as elders said, but monsters not come out." But why they not come out? He talks like that. I'm reading it. I'm reading what it says here.
What's the Brett-like say?
The Brett-like says, "Are you going into the shrine? We'll guard the door while you're inside. And please be careful. If it's too dangerous, don't be ashamed to get out of there as quickly as you can. After all, you're just children."
That confirms that we're children.
Yes, he does tell us that he's impressed with how strong we are for such a young age, but tells us to remember one key fact, that we are still mortal, which is something that you should remind teenagers, actually. That's actually a pretty good piece of advice.
Especially when they're engaged in combat.
Don't be afraid to give up if the monsters are stronger than you.
That's not true. If we give up, we can't make progress in the video game.
Yeah, then we're just going to level up forever, and I don't know if these monsters level scale or not, but they might.
They don't.
Okay. In the Victor version, they do. The bosses do.
Oh, right, yeah.
By Victor, I mean Working Designs, because...
VV, Victor version.
Working Designs is me.
The guy with the red hat says, "You're going into the shrine, huh? Hey, that's a great idea. Might as well get him used to the taste of humans. It's really dark in there, and this place is so old that the floor is starting to cave in, so take your time. The monsters are really tough. If you can avoid the weak points in the floor, you might even manage to live a little longer. So this is going to be a fucked floor dungeon."
I loved fucked floor dungeons. I think I know which JRPG invented this.
The fucked floor dungeon? The
Yeah.
FFD?
Now that we have discovered the origin of all JRPGs is now wizardry,
Right.
as we discussed on our Patreon stream.
Nothing else influenced a single JRPG.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's all wizardry. It all goes back to wizardry. There is a fucked floor in wizardry. But when I think of JRPGs and fucked crumbling floors that send you to a lower level, I think of Dragon Quest.
Okay. Did the first one or all of them or what?
I know specifically Dragon Quest 3 has them. I don't remember if 1 does, and I have not played 2 yet, so...
Damn. Owned. Lyton Shrine Dungeon. Music in the darkness plays, and it's a fuchsia floor dungeon with green rock walls. And it's another cave maze.
Do you know what this cave color configuration reminds me of?
90s Taco Bell.
Well, actually it does now that I think about it, but it actually has the same visual style as the caves in the Double Dragon level.
I forgot there were caves in Double Dragon.
Okay, well,
it has
you know
been
what-
3 years since our inaugural God Bless the Ring episode.
I was just going to say, we need to get Mark back in here.
to play Double Dragon 3 and 4.
Yeah, can we play the Mark music real quick?
Yeah.
The God Bless the Ring Mark music?
Yeah, just it's going to be in the background right now
just
for a little bit.
yeah,
One rotation.
Yeah, fuck it. Play the Mark song.
You can clearly see cracks in the ground, and also there are some strange spotlight sources. I think it's light shining through the cracks in the wall. What's that?
Wonder what?
On PSP, the walls are green and a dirt floor is a rust color, but it's still a cave.
wisdom.
Wow, I just got a wisdom robe. That's for Nash. Do you want to fight some enemies?
Yeah, I want to fight some Giga Ants.
Ants, but now they're silver.
Yeah, they're differently colored than before. I also want to fight what I think is my favorite named enemy,
I'm wondering if I spelled this wrong. Please say it out loud.
Bob Goblin.
Bob Goblin.
Bob Goblin.
I love
We got
Bob.
fucking Bob Goblin over here.
Me and Bob Goblin just yucking it up at the office over here by the water cooler talking about the latest episode of Big Brother.
Yeah, that's right. Big Brother, my favorite British television show. So look at your keyboard and you'll see H and B are pretty close together. Do you think they meant to put Hobgoblin and they did Bob Goblin instead and it's like, this is fucking funny, just keep it?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case, but Bob Goblin, you can't beat him.
They are ogre goblins with clubs. Did you fight any brain pickers?
Not before I fought an Electro Eye.
Black sphere swirling with electricity, one eye half closed, either in boredom or seething anger. Hard to tell.
Yeah, these enemies seem like the most out-of-place enemies in this dungeon because they're just floating balls of energy. I mean,
There can be floating balls of energy anywhere. I mean, you don't get to pick where energy amasses and manifests and tries to seek its revenge on humankind.
yeah.
It's out there. The bad energy is out there. It's us to vanquish it.
I must have not have had any brain pickers.
Well, Chris, brain pickers are purple floating eye, head, mouth, teeth things.
Okay, well, now that we've gotten through all the enemies, we can now be doing some dodging cracks in the floor because that's what's happening here. Every RPG, as we discussed, not every RPG, but a lot of RPGs use this as a cheap dungeon trick to
Make you go through the dungeon a whole bunch of more times.
break up pacing and whatnot, or just to punish the player.
You say break pacing, break my patience, pick one.
And Lunar has played around with a couple of those, or at least it will in the future. But the falling through cracks in the floor is one of the cheap dungeon effects that I will accept. I think it is acceptable.
If they are noted and you can clearly see them and it's not a point of like a dice roll when you're running over certain parts that aren't marked. I like that.
And also, if you put some stuff, some collectibles on the bottom floor that you fall through that you can't otherwise get, that's a nice little trick too.
I think that is an antithesis of this design because you don't want to suffer the pratfall. Like, I shouldn't be rewarded for playing poorly. I shouldn't be getting the good sword for falling down the fucking hole because I wasn't watching where I was going.
So what if I just reward you with like some expendable items since you have to make that climb
some herbs?
back up?
Then that's an insult, actually. I would take items that I don't actually need. If I can pick up items that are just bullshit, be like, here, fuck you. Take it. You've got a poison healing spell. We'll take a antidote.
Okay, well, what if I could see on the map there's a treasure chest that I need to fall down from the higher floor into it? Is that acceptable?
Quick question. Are there maps in this game?
No.
Okay, then I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, you can see it like on your screen. Like I'm on floor 2 and I can see that there is a cavern that I cannot get to, but I can see some light beaming down from that cavern.
No, you shouldn't
from level
incentivize
3.
fucking up.
Okay. I think
feel
it's
very
incentivizing.
strongly about this.
Okay, it's fine. I think you can do stuff like this, especially when you're not dealing with random battles.
Don't try to provoke my FOMO by offering tasty treats in an area where you're punishing me for being. You should feel miserable down there. It should be so miserable that you only want to escape and never fall back down there again.
Yeah, well.
The fourth screen of this place is pulsing with yellow light, and I wonder what that means. This dungeon also has a semi-interesting design where you go down 4 screens on the right side of the cave, then back up 4 screens on the other side of the cave. That's all I've got before we reach the end where the fucked up Blue Dragon music plays.
Yes, we are now going to push some rocks into the shrine holes.
It appears the wind is blowing through the holes and making musical tones.
Yes. Null says, I think calling those notes musical might be stretching it a bit.
Chris, is the origin of all instruments either twanging a string or blowing air through holes?
You can also bang.
Oh yes, there is banging.
There's drums.
Banging, blowing, and flicking.
Banging, blowing, and flicking.
Banging, blowing, and flicking.
The 3...
But that's a band. That's a full band. Or like stroking with like a violin, or is that flicking still?
These are all sexual as well.
Of course. What is music if not a way to have sex with things?
Well, anyway, Nash says that it's up to us to fix that. If we push these rocks in front of the holes, we'll change the tune.
But Null, like me, does not know which holes we cover and which holes we leave open.
Yeah.
Jessica wants us to shut the fuck up and start trying.
I wish that Jessica would just say, shut the fuck up.
But instead she says, why don't we just push some rocks and see what happens? That's also what drug dealers say to their new recruits.
It's pretty true.
There are 2 rocks. You push the left rock left and the right rock right. This solves the puzzle. Did you fuck this up, Chris?
I did fuck it up, but eventually got it. The first one that I chose was the rock on the right, and I pushed it to the right. And Null notes that it seems like it is improving the tune. I don't know if the music actually changed or not, but Null says that he thinks that we almost got it right.
Chris rocks.
Yes, indeed. The characters will make no comment if you fuck it up, but if they will make a comment if you are getting closer to the correct answer.
Null knows what's up. Ah, what beautiful music. We fixed it, Alex. Jessica believes the music now sounds so lovely, and so do you, listener, because now music, Song of the Blue Dragon, plays. It's similar to the other Song of Blue Dragon, but less fucked up.
Good.
Do you find it more pleasurable to listen to with your ears, Chris, or is it still like so close to the other version that it's ruined your brain thought patterns?
It has not ruined my brain thought patterns. Actually, I do think that the rather whimsical and childish nature of the original song was kind of growing on me a little bit.
Whimsical and childish.
Yes.
If you don't remember last time, I don't know if we mentioned on the pod, but Chris, before we recorded the last episode, had just come from a little kid's concert at school. So he was hearing fucked up music all day.
Yeah, well, for an hour.
Jessica continues, when this music's this pretty, I bet it makes Kyle want to get all prettied up himself. Obviously referencing the drag incident from earlier.
Yes, the drag incident is editorialized out in the remaster.
I was wondering about that. But there was still drag in the remaster, right? Like, he still dressed up like a lady.
There was.
Yeah.
There was. I guess they're just trying to call less attention to it, or maybe they are going back to the original script and seeing what it said. I don't know.
Kyle's a bit miffed.
Well, you hear what she says?
Yeah, I just thought they cut out that one part.
No, she says, Kyle, listen and learn. This is actual music, not whatever you do on karaoke night.
Right, karaoke exists in the world of Lunar.
Yes, and then Kyle says, you don't get it at all. Music isn't about skill, it's about heart.
That's true.
My husky voice is part of my brand, and everyone loves it, for your information.
I love it.
I love it too. So does Gene.
I love it.
There was another bit of spicy dialogue that was changed from... Oh yeah, it was the IUD joke. It was changed from the IUD joke to something about karaoke. So karaoke.
So karaoke is like our Band-Aid for everything.
Control F karaoke.
Karaoke, IUD,
Yes.
R word.
Actually, the IUD joke was replaced with a joke about a tapeworm. I think because tapeworms are also intrusive, maybe. Karaoke was used to replace a joke about Kyle using his tongue for some unspecified activity. And if you think about it, you do use your tongue in karaoke, so I guess it works there. I don't know if it works here, but we'll take it. Thank you, bye.
Kyle is a bit miffed. In my game, he says, "You're never going to stop razzing me about that, are you? It was a ruse, R-U-S-E, and I was trying to trap Zenobia, not get my jollies."
Get my jollies.
Yeah, I love getting jollies. In Harmony, that drag line's removed. She makes fun of Kyle's braying voice, and his only response is to tell Jessica to shut the hell up.
What does Null say?
Null gets in on it. He says, "Now, Kyle, you were kind of exotically dressed as a woman."
In mine, Null says, "I'm sure they do, if everyone refers to the dogs who think you're barking at them at least."
Kyle, like me, the player, just wants to get the hell out of here. So I use Jessica's 1 MP escape spell and get us the hell out of here.
1 MP. I think it's 20 MP in the Working Designs version.
Right. But in your newly patched remastered version, it is returned to 1. We have returned to Mother.
I love returning to Mother.
Do you want to call this the Althena version instead of the Working Designs version? Can we just start
God's version? God's plan?
As God intended.
Okay. As God intended, yes.
I exit the shrine. Only 2 guys remain. The center guy is missing. The bread-like says, "Well done, children. The people of Lyton clamor with excitement, and I plan to join the festivities. I knew my fighting skills needed improvement, but to be shown up by you children was embarrassing. Chris, when's the last time a child embarrassed you? You cannot say an event from today. It has to be from before today."
Is this Thursday count?
Thursday counts. That is not today.
Okay, so soccer practice Thursday.
Yep.
Couple guys short, so me and the other coach decided we were going to mix it up with the homies.
You're going to jump in, play soccer?
Play a little soccer.
Mm-hmm. You're twice these kids' size. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have to make sure that I don't use my weight to my advantage.
I say, I know you can't use your hands to touch the ball in soccer, but can you pick people up and throw them? Is that allowed?
No, you're not supposed to push.
You're not supposed to, but can you?
I did dive on the ball. I played a little bit of goalie, and I did dive on the ground to get a ball once.
Hell yeah, fuck them
which
kids.
was impressive. But I also got a goal scored on me through the legs, which I believe the kids call getting megged.
Yeah. Now, does that create a power dynamic problem with, like, beating the shit out of the coach?
I don't know. That was the very last practice of the season, and we won today, so I guess it worked.
Good job.
We got one more game tomorrow. You want to come?
No.
Okay, good.
Old Man Red Cap. So this is a Song of Lyton, huh? It's nice. It's not worth the 5 days it took for me to travel here, but it's nice.
Is this the same guy from the boat earlier that was, like, appreciating that we saved them from the blue booger?
The boat on Saith?
Yeah.
From fucking, like, 3 months ago? I don't know.
Okay. Well, he doesn't recognize us, so.
Outside NPCs. Did you speak to anyone else before we went to talk to the Elder?
Probably. The green-haired elf guy?
Yeah.
He's outside now. He says, "Y'all be fixin' the Song of Lyton. Now we celebrate your awesome fightin'. When the blue dragon hears us getting down, he might be marching into our hometown."
Sick rhymes, Chris.
Thank you.
You're the 5th Beastie Boy.
Yes, thank you.
Purple hair, pink dress, wandering on the east side of town.
Mm-hmm.
She asks, "Do you hear the song of Lyton? Do you hear its flowing beauty?" "Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do." Null makes fun of the lady. She says, "Watch out, Alex. A stampede of dogs should be coming through here any minute now." Because of her braying, because of her woo, like dogs do.
Dogs come to... You can woo the dogs?
If you bark like a dog, you will summon them. And she's a hot lady, so the dogs will come to hump the... I don't know, dude.
I thought that the only four-legged beast that you can summon was a pig. A hog, excuse me.
What do you know about hog summoning?
The University of Arkansas does the ooh pig suey, call the hogs.
Isn't that like a football chant?
It's a university chant, yeah.
University, and do hogs appear, or is this like a metaphor for good football players?
I guess. There actually are hog calling competitions. Have you ever watched a hog calling competition?
Figment, I'm going to need 15 seconds of audio from a hog calling competition.
Initializing fake.
Oh dear. I have previewed the audio, and you're definitely going to lose listeners. Oh well.
I think that you will enjoy this.
Come on, pig! Piggy! Come on, piggy!
Thank you. I hope that everyone just listened to it and did. If not, we just irritated someone. Who'd you talk to next?
Next, I spoke with the guy in the middle of town near the Althena statue with a little magic hat on. You know that guy?
Yes.
Song has returned to Lyton. Joy has returned to our souls. Today is a festival of song to savor the harmony we just thought was lost. And we owe all this to you. That's all he says.
The green-haired kid by the goddess statue says, the people of Lyton can sing again. We have a festival to celebrate the return of our sweet music. I'm so happy. I might even get up the courage to sing too. Want to hear a few bars of Come Sail Away?
The remaster has editorialized this slightly. I guess not wanting to use the actual title of the song.
Yeah.
And they changed it to Come Sail My Way.
Oh, okay. So they've combined Usher with whoever sang Come Sail Away.
Was Come Sail Away in the, 90s pop culture discourse because of Eric Cartman? Was that from the movie or was that from an episode?
I have no association of South Park with Come Sail Away, but I've only seen I watched the first 2 seasons when they were on, then I haven't watched South Park since
I think
then.
there was a famous episode, or maybe it was in the movie where Cartman sang that song.
Come Sail Away was some shit that was always on the radio in my dad's car. How about that? So I think it was in the public consciousness, and have there been any South Park jokes so far? Because South Park was what, 97? This was being localized through 97, 98, 99. So there could have been some intersection.
Yeah.
Like Panzer Dragon Saga had a fucking South Park joke.
What was isn't there a JRPG that has a Killed Kenny joke in it?
Panzer Dragon Saga.
Was it? Okay, that's
Yeah.
what it was. All right, yeah. Wasn't sure if it was something we covered or not.
And then I think Tiger Woods 99 had 3 South Park episodes dummy dated on the disc. Like if you put it into your PC, there was South Park episodes there.
Wow.
Could
I
be
remember
wrong.
watching the original South Park Santa versus Jesus thing
Right.
on a tiny little 240p, actually probably smaller than that.
Yeah. Real player, Shockwave Flash.
In the real player, yeah. Yeah, that was magic back then.
Null tells this kid he wants to sing a tune first. I'm Null, I love fish, I want to die. Red hair elf girl says, I guess she got out of one of those houses. She says, this is so fun, it's been so long. Now we can sing and play and run in the wind that plays our song. So we've really brought life to this village, Chris. This is the first village that I think we've truly saved through our acts. I know we get the blue booger and we totally liberated Meribia was being invaded and all that stuff, but this is the one where we've brought peace to the land in exchange
We restored
for goods.
their way of life.
Yeah. They're very happy about all of this.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have for outside. I went inside some houses next to talk to some people that live in there. The armor shop, the green-haired guy from the shrine is in here now. He's drinking by himself. He says, you fixed the wind shrine. I hear the song of light and smile. I hear a great cheer of joy inside village. You are hero. You bring happiness to village. I stay here in case monsters come back, but I know they're not. So I sing happy song in here all day.
Okay. Yeah, great. Is there a reason for these kind of guys, these broken English guys?
It has to be some kind of dialect thing that in the early days of localization, they didn't quite know what to do with. That's the best I can put together for that is there's like the rapping thing I think may have been invented for different type of singing, but the guys that speak in broken English either has to be, well, we're assuming he's illiterate or they're trying to actually vary the way people, I don't know.
Yeah, it just feels off. It feels uncanny.
It feels like something I haven't seen in another game.
Yeah, there's a town in Dragon Quest III, at least in the remake, where everybody speaks in haikus.
I think that's in 11, right?
I think
Or
11...
no, 11 has rhyming couplets or something with the mermaid town.
11 does a lot of stuff with dialect as well. I think a lot of the more recent Dragon Quest games that have been localized at least do things with dialect, which makes me assume that they did stuff with dialect in the original one, but I guess they just didn't know how to handle this. They didn't have Richard Honeywood's algorithm to deal with it.
Chrono Cross had not yet been invented. House of the Right of the Goddess statue. There's an old pink man, same sprite as the Elder, but it's not the Elder. He says the last time I saw the blue dragon shrine emerge from the lake was, it was a great many years ago. That must have been Dragon Master Dine before he was a Dragon Master about to undergo the trial. Legend says the shrine only emerges from the lake under one special circumstance. When the dragon is awakened by the singing of two people deeply in love. I wonder who Dragon Master Dine was singing with. I wondered that too. I wonder if it was Galleon.
It was Galleon.
It was Gay Leon.
It had to be Galleon, right?
There was
only one lady. It was Lemia. Did he harmonize with Lemia? We have no Dine, Lemia harmonization, deeply in love lore.
Yeah, the only relationship that we're really... Well, we do know that Mel and Dine at one point were antagonizing each other.
Yeah.
Mel was a pirate and he befriended him within their battles. And, we know from video games and other types of media that love can bloom on the battlefield.
On the battlefield, that's correct.
Depending on, it doesn't matter what side you're on.
No, Squall rescued Renoa. Solid Snake rescued whatever.
And actually, if I were to power rank which of the four heroes that Dine would sing a lovely harmony with, I would put Galleon 1, Mel 2, and Lemmy at the bottom, actually.
Yeah. I don't think Lemmy, I don't think this is a gendered thing at all. This guy also says the shrine only emerges from the lake under one special circumstance. And I wonder, Chris, what is the one thing you do only one special circumstance?
The one thing
you do under only one special circumstance.
The one thing I do only under one special circumstance.
Like, what's something that you will do only under a special circumstance?
Yeah, everybody does this, I think, but if I see somebody that I don't want to talk to, I get my phone out and pretend have a fake conversation.
Oh, that's great.
You don't do that?
I've never thought to do that. I usually do the thing where I see someone and then I turn around and immediately walk the opposite direction.
Oh,
Even if they see me, that is my move.
Oh, no, you got to take a phone call.
No, I want them... Like, I'm one of I think 3 people on planet Earth that has my read receipts turned on for everybody on my telephone. I want you to know that I've seen your message. I just don't have time for it right now. I don't want you to, fake think, whoa, he must have not seen that. No, I've seen that shit. Something else happened. I'm sorry, but I want you to know that I've seen that.
Good. Well, I think you should implement the phone call thing.
Okay, I'll try that out next time.
And it can be as simple as...
Excuse me, I have a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Eric from the internet. Thank you to you made Final Fantasy. Yeah, well, we want to talk to you. Yeah, dial me at 558 Retro Made Greet. Yep, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. It could be as simple as, hey, oh yeah, I got your message. I'll give you a call back in just a minute.
Mm-hmm. You don't start yelling out like lewd.
And if you know the person, but you just don't want to talk to them because you just are not in the headspace to.
Yeah.
You take the call when you're within talking distance, and you take the call and you wave to them. You'd be like, oh, hey.
Oh,
and then
you keep walking. Do you do brief eye contact as well?
Yeah,
okay.
Brief eye contact.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Human avoidance strategies.
Yes, exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
There's a green-haired boy in here. He says, I give thanks to you for restoring the Song of Lyton, green-eyed boy. I hope you'll stay here for a while and enjoy our festival. Kyle tells this kid that he'd love nothing more than to stay here and celebrate. We have to take care of business, and he says he assumes our business is the Blue Dragon. He tells us where we're going to find him. Thank you for that essential information. Let's go to the fucking elder's house.
Let's go to the fucking... Yes, thank you for that essential information, Eric. I appreciate that. The little boy.
He's got a good comment.
He says, everyone is singing and happy because the Song of Lyton is back.
Well, in my video game, he says he wants to go back to the shrine and poke dead monsters with a stick.
Why did they get rid of that?
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
Little children torturing dead things happens all the time. You find a squirrel out there, it's like, let's get a fucking stick and hit it with it until it moves. And then it doesn't move and you cry.
He does say it. The second line, he says, but I won't sing or be happy until my dad promises to let me poke the dead monsters in the shrine with a stick.
You ever let your kids poke dead shit? You ever find a rabbit out in the backyard that fucking dog got a hold of or whatever, and then let's touch this with the lawnmower ate it up?
I don't think so.
Childhood death stories?
I don't know if my children would be interested in poking dead things with a stick, which I guess is probably a good thing.
I'll ask him next time I see him.
I think they might be grossed out by that.
Cool. The chief tells me...
He says, Alex, you've done it. You've returned the Song of the Valley to us.
Now the festival can begin. We will sing songs of thanks to you for your great deed. Walk north to Lyton Lake, Alex. The Blue Dragon Shrine rests beneath its placid surface. Mm-hmm. But it won't rise up unless a song is sung by 2 people who are deeply in love with each other. Mia states it plainly. The Song of 2 Lovers is the key to the Blue Dragon Shrine, ? Jessica's into it. How wonderful. How romantic. Nash is still Nash. He parenthetically thinks, how wildly impractical.
Yeah.
Well, then let's go to the lake and sing. In harmony, Nash's wildly impractical is removed from his dialogue. He's less of a cynic, Chris. Kyle wonders why Jessica's so excited because he doesn't get that she's in love with him and we have control.
We do. Did you talk to the elder's wife?
Hell no. I don't speak to elders' wives.
That's kind of sexist, Eric.
Yeah, that's why I don't speak to your wife, elder.
Oh, you mean elder? I'm not the elder of a village, but I am elder than you.
Yes,
I'm your elder.
You are older than I am, so you are my elder.
Okay, good.
And I give you the respect you deserve.
Well, she says, thank you, boy. Thank you for restoring the beauty to our song. Our entire village is celebrating the resurrection of our harmony. And our singing will surely summon the blue dragon you seek.
Great.
That was...
Perfect instruction.
I'm cutting that one. That one's going in the outtakes.
Okay, fine.
Useless.
Whatever.
He didn't cut it. And it's funnier if I leave it in.
I didn't speak with the elder's wife either, Eric.
That's good, Chris. And another continuity you did. Perhaps we'll hear it in the outtakes. Let's go to the Blue Dragon Lake Shrine music. Crickets chirp. This is I think, of all the games this is our 3rd game that have had crickets music.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It is the worst crickets music, I think, so far. Like Suikoden 2, fantastic fucking cricket music.
Excellent crickets. If I were to rank all the crickets, probably almost every game that we have has some crickets in it, right?
Oh,
or at least
I think
some wildlife
sounds. I mean, I've captured so much goddamn ambiance. By the way, top tier ambiance, patreon.com/retroam. Vagrant Story, fucking monster moaning background, wine cellar. It's
exquisite. Chef's kiss.
You know what? Fuck the crickets. Play the Vagrant Story monster moaning thing here. Thank you.
Okay.
I approach that bridge and control is taken away. The camera pans up to reveal that it's just an open body of water out there. I'm like, they fucked us. There is no goddamn shrine.
That would have actually been an interesting twist because our quest has been rather straightforward thus far.
Yeah, you have to go, you go back to the village and they've all left because they've all lied to you to fix their problems. And now somehow that got their caravan moving.
Yeah.
Kyle thinks this looks like a fine place to croon.
Yeah, love crooning.
Jessica knows the rules, and so do I. Remember that two lovers have to think of each other as they're singing. I have control of Alex only, so I go chat up some folks, all of whom are sitting down. Who'd you chat up first, Chris?
Nash, of course. He says, so, Mia, why don't we try singing together?
He's very timid.
Yes. Mia's like, really, Nash? Well, all right, but my singing voice is not very good.
Also timid, bashful, unconfident. Incompetent? Is unconfident incompetent?
Unconfident?
Non-confident? How do you say opposite confident?
Fake net?
Initializing fake net.
Both Nash and Eric could be described as unsure, insecure, meek, timid, shy, humble, diffident, or self-doubting.
Como se dice?
Might also be just not confident.
Okay.
2 words.
Or like meek or something. I don't know. A fake net just told us. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I think I give a shit.
Next.
Well, did they sing?
Nevertheless, the two step over and try to sing, and we get another La 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 concert. Nash sounds like total shit in this one. Gee Wizards, here's what they sound like on PSP.
La 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 la.
Let's make Chris work for it. Here's what it sounds like in the remix in Althena edition. What happens after it concludes?
Null says, Nash, why are you so nervous? I thought your feelings for Mia were pretty obvious.
Nash spits the dots.
Yeah, he does. Nash had 2 opportunities to express his love for Mia in a rather, kind-hearted and sweet way. He could have made a sculpture of her earlier.
Right.
And now he could have actually,
proven it. But
yes.
Mia also fucked it up. Like, it wasn't just Nash fucking it up,
That
right?
is very true.
Mutual fuck up.
Mia apologizes.
Citing her horrible voice, Nash, to my surprise, concedes defeat, taking the blame on himself due to his nervousness. Nash and Mia return to the grass and sit down, which is hilarious. Fuck it, man. We're going to take 5. Next, we can speak to Kyle and Jessica.
Yep.
Kyle and Jessica bicker about singing together. Kyle thinks Jess is just stalling. The two of them move to the platform and sing another version of the La 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 song. And man, does it go on for a long time. We may cut it if I get annoyed in the editing process.
Mm-hmm.
La 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 la
Well, it wasn't long enough, Chris, because here's what they sound like in Silver Star Harmony.
la 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 la
Stop it. Stop doing this.
Is he going to do it? Is Chris going to play the version from the Althena edition?
la 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 la
After it's over, Jessica hits us with dots. Kyle sounded like shit during that, and Jessica knows it. She says, "What was that, Kyle? Did you suddenly forget you're supposed to be singing, not gargling? That was not your best effort." Kyle cannot believe this shit. He tells Jessica that she couldn't harmonize if her life depended on it. Jessica launches a comeback. "Harmony, you call your grunts and moans harmony? More like excruciating pain." In Silver Star Harmony, grunts was replaced with multitude of Sasquatchian groans. Null points out the obvious. Didn't work. Rather than talk to everybody else again, I approach the platform as Alex. Null calls out the obvious. We're fucked. We're never going to see the shrine with singing like this. Mia outlines the core thesis of this video game. If Luna were here to sing with you, Alex, the shrine would surely appear.
The core thesis is Luna needs to be here to
harmonize with Alex, to
have love?
complement the two one-winged angel.
Oh, got it. Okay, because I was working on trying to figure out, like, what is this game trying to say, to tell us.
One of these one-winged angels is a god,
And
one's a man.
And you may have landed on it because I can't come up with anything yet. I'm going to get there by the end of the series, but I can't quite get there. There was a lot of stuff about, at the beginning of the game, especially when we were talking to people in Berg about dying, a lot of stuff about sacrifice, doing the thing that you need to do.
You better be prepared for it, buddy. You're going to be called on to sacrifice.
And regret a little bit, too. Especially
big-time themes.
Especially as we can kind of, like, every now and then, I don't know if we've got fully, but every now and then we can really get a sense of that from Lake, who is obvious, is
grizzled, haggard, used up.
Grizzled, haggard, dying, who may or may not have retrograde amnesia. But I don't know if this game is quite ready to tie any of that stuff together yet. So it just kind of feels like right now we're perusing through dirt towns and capturing dragon armor.
Null has a solution. Alex, I have an idea. Why don't you play your ocarina? I know Luna will hear it and feel it. And we get a choice. You can pick it's a waste of time, or I'll play the song. Did you tell Null it's a waste of time?
I'll play the song.
Well, if you say it's a waste of time, he says, don't say that, Alex. None of this is a waste of time. And now if we want to save Luna, your only option is to play the song. I say I play our song. Alex says Luna's name, then takes out his ocarina of time, closes his eyes, and plays it. Here's what that sounds like on PSP. And here's what that sounds like in Chris's video game. We then cut to an unknown, futuristic-looking room. Luna is here, along with Lily and the bad singer from Marriott. Also a set of twins I don't recognize, a blonde-haired lady who I think is from Lan, and another pink-haired girl who is not Lily. Any idea of who these other people are, Chris? Or should we know them?
I think the ones with the braid over their left shoulder, I think one of those is from the bar in Maribia. Or did you already say that?
I'd said bad singer from Marriott, but yeah, you're right. There was an abduction in Maribia. The implication, though, is clear. All of these singers have been kidnapped and taken to wherever this space room is.
Yeah, we've got some technodrome vibes going on here.
Very technodrome, yeah.
It's kind of shocking to actually see this. One of the things that we haven't quite stumbled across yet in this game is that they are playing with the idea of, like, the purity of magic versus, like, shit that's built out of the mines, technology versus nature, kind of, but nature is magic.
And in the original, isn't there, like, a fear of electricity and machinery that's more emphasized in the Sega CD version as opposed to this version?
That's a question you should ask yourself, Galvatron.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think it was mostly smoothed out of Silver Star Complete, but in the original, there was, like, a feel like machinery was like a new technology to replace magic was restricted mostly to Vane. Like, Vane had the monopolization of magic technology.
Gotcha.
So I think the Vile Tribe was inventing machinery to circumvent, to beat up the magic. Machinery versus magic is something that I think should be explored actually more in JRPGs. Or I haven't just played the one that really did it, I guess.
I mean, we've had... Chrono Cross has some, like, environmentalism themes to it. Destroying the lands of the dwarves, remember that?
And the Nintendo games, of course, are machines that use magic.
Yeah, that is the marriage of machinery and magic.
Not a versus.
Yes.
Co-op mission. Luna sings along, but another one of the girls has an idea. Luna, I know, let's all sing with Luna. If we sing, we won't be afraid, and we won't cry. All of their tiny sprites then gather close and sing along.
This is from Lunar Remastered.
La
Zenobia does not like that. She beams in and screams, "Quiet, all of you. I demand it. Stop this insurrection at once." In harmony, insurrection is replaced with noisome singing. But everybody keeps singing. And intimidated Zenobia takes a step back. She says, "You insolent little..." Then Royce beams in and offers her own commentary. What a beautiful song, but such a pathetic attempt to control their fears. I almost pity them, sisters. So they have no idea that they're all doing magic shit here. She thinks they're just trying to sing to, like, quell the fear of being kidnapped in a technodrome.
Yeah, I think you're right. The thing that prisoners do to pass the time.
Yes, pass the time and initiate camaraderie.
Yes.
Phaecia now beams in, and she has a more measured, more controlled take. Pity them, Royce? You should be in awe of them. Don't you feel the power of this song? Don't you feel it stirring your very soul? If this song doesn't warm your heart, Royce, it's because yours is already dead.
Damn.
The already dead line was removed from the promo in Silver Star Harmony. Chris, is Lunar making us sympathetic for the villains, or at least one of them?
No, I think the villain, well, at least one of them, Phaecia, is becoming sympathetic
To us.
For us, yes,
I
for the
see.
cause. And Phaecia she was obviously involved with kidnapping the singers because we saw her when we got off the boat from land.
I mean, she orchestrated the Athena Shrine deception.
But I think that somewhere along the way, she's starting to see the error of their ways.
We hard cut to a black screen, a screen I will label as Magic Emperor Meditation Vision.
Yeah.
Luna sings along under a blue spotlight. The blue-lit sprite of the Magic Emperor appears in the corner of the screen. Unlike the Weird Sisters, my dude loves this shit. He goes into sicko mode. He says, "Yes, Luna, yes, with each note you sing and with every breath you take, your awakening grows closer. And on that glorious day, your voice will mark," thanks, Mark, "the beginning of my eternal dominion."
Dominion.
In Silver Star Harmony, they didn't have a new Emperor vision. He just came in this room and said this shit.
So, obviously, Luna is some sort of reincarnation or vessel of Athena.
Yes. I think we can confirm that now.
And the reason that the Magic Emperor is spinning his compass of order right now is because that is coming to fruition. Like, this song is, for lack of a better term, holy, right?
Yeah.
And he can see that Athena has...
She has the juice. Luna has the juice.
Yes, the Athena juice has almost filled up into Luna. And then once that happens, he is going to, I guess, take dominion over her so that he can use her powers to do whatever he needs to do.
That's where we're heading.
What does he want to do? Rule?
Yeah.
Or does
Rule and roll. Take over.
Is he a ruler? Or is he... we never really figured out what his scenario is.
feels betrayed by what happened to Dine and faults Athena for it. So by dominating Athena... And can we back up a little bit?
Yes.
Have we established whether or not Athena has come down to live as a human as the Jesus Christ? Or if it is a Trinity situation where there is still a God Athena, but Athena is also simultaneously living as a son of man. And by son, I mean daughter, obviously.
Yes.
Is there no more God? Does God walk among us? Will God ascend once more? These are all questions I want the game to provide answers to.
And also, I think between the two of us, in the past 3 minutes, we both quoted Xenogears 2 or 3 times.
It's all I think about with my entire life.
Anyway, season 1. No, I don't think it's a Holy Trinity situation. I think there is one Athena being. She's been missing because she somehow was destroyed or sacrificed.
Or just simply decided to walk the earth.
Yes, originally, like during whatever happened to Dine happened, that being was then reincarnated into a baby. I think Lake or Dine or whoever it was took Luna as a baby to Alex's dad at that point in time.
Hey, can you have this? Can you take this?
Also, Null was there, and we don't really understand the importance of that either. So I do think it is a cycle. So it is a cycle, and maybe that's part of what we're chewing on here with the thematic stuff. Is Alex going to break whatever cycle happens? Like,
the cycle's already broken if God is returned to Earth.
But maybe God's going to get killed off again if Alex doesn't do the right thing.
Well, if God is Luna mortal, is my question.
And if the cycle is not broken and the 4 heroes or 5 heroes, I guess for us, are not able to break the cycle, then Luna once again is going to be reincarnated into a baby. And then Alex is going to have to take that baby and then go give it to somebody.
Fucking do-overs.
Give it to Ramus's dad, and then he's going to have to go grow a beard and live in the woods.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's been happening for thousands of years here on the moon.
Oh, you don't think this is like a one-time thing for the guy? Like they just keep fucking the cycle up over and over? To make this cyclical is interesting.
The cycle of 4 heroes, and the only reason I say that is because when I was reading something about Lunar 2 recently, I know that there's 4 heroes in Lunar 2. So, and that takes like 1,000 years after this. So it's making me think there's some sort of cycle of heroes that must be broken in the mechanics of breaking such a cycle, I don't quite understand.
Ordinarily, I would think it would be unfair to put the influence of the sequel upon the previous game. But the fact that these are remakes allows them to do that, I think, because they had to know they were going to remake Eternal Blue when they were remaking this, right? Like there have to be like seeds left in there somewhere, maybe. I don't remember. It's also unhelpful if I didn't play Eternal Blue on Sega CD.
Yes.
Luna moves back to the center of the screen, then it cuts back to Alex playing his ocarina at the entrance to the Blue Dragon Shrine. But Null can stand it no further. He says, "Please, Alex, don't play anymore. It reminds me too much of Luna." With his mouth voice, in real life, Null then says,
Alex, look! Something's happening!
on PSP, he says,
Alex, look at the surface of the lake!
in Chris's version, he says,
Alex, look! Something's happening!
That was actually a neat scene. Also, did you hear some Darth Vader breathing at the end? What the hell was that?
I don't think so, but I'll listen back for it.
Okay. If that exists, here's that amplified so you can hear it. If I hallucinated it, here's actual Darth Vader breathing for some reason.
Maybe you were breathing.
Anime cutscene. We open on the grass, the feet of nature. How the fuck did I write that?
The feet of nature.
As it pans up to reveal a whirlpool forming in the nearby lake, a dark structure begins to rise out of the center of the whirlpool with water cascading down its rigid sides and outer walls. It concludes with an ominous sound effect as the camera pulls back to reveal the brown mountain of a building left alone in the water. Chris, in your remixed Althena version, these aren't widescreen stretched up, right? Are they still 4x3?
The anime is still 4x3.
One of the most egregious AI offenses is when they like take Van Gogh's Starry Night and it's like, here's what the rest of the scene looks like, and they make the picture fuller. It's like, that's not what it fucking looks like, you piece of shit.
Yeah, they did not do that for the anime.
It doesn't exist.
The anime is too sacred. They did stretch it out. Not stretch it out, I'm sorry.
Dude, fucking the anime is too sacred. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyway.
Blue Dragon Lake Music Dragon, Holy Spirit plays, and the tower is risen to meet the pathway. Null is overjoyed. You did it, Alex. Luna heard your song. I knew she would. Alex speaks. I heard her singing, Null, and I felt her. The gang, minus Jessica, all get on the bridge. Jessica stays in the moment. She gets weird. She says it must be wonderful to be so deeply in love as Alex and Luna. I only wish a certain handsome barbarian would realize I feel the same way about him. Kyle, further away and apparently not having heard it, asks, Hey Jess, care to join the rest of us? Or are you going to stay here to work on your singing? The violence never ends. Jessica tells Kyle, another word out of you and I'll be using your face to work on my left jab. In harmony, Jessica parenthetically thinks, why don't you ever notice my feelings, Kyle?
Did you take note of the elaborate decor on the outside of the Blue Dragon Shrine?
Not specifically. What do you see, Chris?
I see like a lot of snakes and sort of dragon-esque creatures that are kind of carved into the side.
Serpent lair.
Yes, but some of these things have hands, and all the hands look like three-fingered Mickey Mouse hands, and it makes me deeply uncomfortable.
The Simpsons zone. I see.
Yes. I don't know what they're the hands of. I just see the hands there.
Before we head into the Blue Dragon Shrine, do you want to hear what happens here on Sega CD?
I would love to.
None of it. None of this shit happens. No wind shrine, no singing, no cursed Lyton peoples. You find this magician in a house in Lyton. He's had a dream that a green-eyed boy named Alex wanted to cross the river. The magician breaks the curse once you tell him your name is Alex. There are villagers in Lyton who ask Kyle and Jessica to sing, though only Kyle busts a rhyme. Anyway, you go back to the world map, walk through some wavy water, and find the Blue Dragon Cave beneath the waterfall to the north. Let's return to the version we know and love.
We're in the cave now, right?
Music in the darkness plays. You'll never believe it. This place is blue. Blue walls, silver granite type floor. There's a staircase to a whirlpool in the first room. Is someone about to get baptized in the Catholic Church?
Yes.
Dragon Caves plays on Sega CD.
Yeah, our guys have a little bit of a chat here and wonder where the staircase leads to, and then we hop down into the staircase and initiate a very annoying dungeon mechanic, the opposite of falling through the floor mechanic. This is just go in whirlpool and see where you land mechanic, which actually, if I think about it, is the same as falling through floors, just a little bit less intuitive.
Yeah, it's more random. You can at least actually, I guess you have to go in the whirlpools to get around.
Some of these are trapped as well, as we'll discover here in a minute.
Mia points out the lack of obvious progression instruments. Has anyone seen a staircase? I'm afraid I haven't. We've been here for 28 seconds, but Nash says we also haven't found any doors and I haven't sensed any magical barriers. Null says, get in the fucking pool.
Yeah.
Get in the pool. There's no unique sound effect. This is horse shit.
Yeah, it does feel a little incomplete.
There are other large bodies of static blue water, but we cannot enter those, and they are not teleportation pools. There are some fucking enemies, though. Don't forget to equip Alex with that flame sword we got in the Red Dragon Cave.
I forgot to get it.
Chris has no equipment. He's going to have a tougher time with this dungeon than I or you did.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
What'd you fight?
I fought some gelatins.
Hey, is Alex attacking 3 times now for you?
Yes.
He is for me as well.
Yes, it's nice.
Okay, is that a level up thing or just we're here and now this happens thing?
No, occasionally when you level up, when it's telling you your stats, number of attacks is a stat as well.
Numb them attacks.
Yeah, so I think eventually Kyle will get 3, and I think Jessica can get 2, but I think everyone else is stuck at 1.
The gelatin is lavender blue slimes. They love doing their little slime bites, things that I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd you fight next?
I fought an aqua genie.
Love it.
Yeah, they look hard as fuck.
Ruby red chrono hair, giant golden machete, purple floating genie tail. These guys hit hard, and I usually run from the battle, lest I get wrecked.
Their swords look kind of like bananas.
Banana swordman.
Yes.
Who'd you fight next?
Actually, I stepped in one of those whirlpools and received a elemental trap random battle.
Love it.
Had to fight some water elementals, which
Fuck those things.
Yeah, just water. I think they're dragons with water heads or waterhead dragons, dragon waterheads.
Dragonhead bites people. It has the same on-field sprite as the slimes, which makes it very confusing.
Oh, does it really? Okay.
There's also razor wolves, blue lizard things, pink claws. Have I seen this somewhere before? I don't know.
Razor wolves look cool as hell. They look like they're from something else.
Razor wolves.
Yeah,
leftover sprites from some fucking...
The thing is, they don't look leftover. They look so cool that they can't be leftover. So it makes me think that like they're a Pokemon design or something.
Pokemon designed for Chris.
Yes, it is that good.
Loot here includes an angel tier, 10,000S, a ruby tiara, which was a hike, an angel ring, a jewel bracelet, Chiara's tail, and a dragon armlet.
Great.
Also a nice waterfall by the north end by the third pool. I love waterfalls. I use a cheat code. I look at a map on the internet to see which pools weren't fucked and which could streamline my travel.
Good.
Toward the end, there are 6 pools in a tiny area, and only 1 is not fucked. Cool, awesome, efficient design. Well, goddamn it, I somehow make it to a little light blasting cave on the left side where the blue dragon probably won't be. On Sega CD, there's a boss fight before the blue dragon area. It's against something called Brainiac, which is a goblin man with a brain that goes all the way down his back, around his arms like sleeves.
Oh, he's the evolved version of Bob Goblin.
Bob Goblin, yeah. Bob Goblin to Brainiac pipeline.
Yes.
I recommend looking up a picture of Brainiac because he's a real goober.
Okay.
Blue dragon area. It's dark in here. The gang walk across a bridge over the abyss, but stop to have a little chat. Naw comments on the lighting situation. It's so dark in here I can barely see my paws in front of my face. Hello, is anyone there? Maw flies forward. We get hit with some light blasts and some fucking sound effects.
Yeah.
We step forward, and I stand corrected. Music, dragon, Holy Spirit plays, and there it is.
Yes.
My guy, how did you describe him, Chris, before I do mine? What are you looking at? What do you see? Tell me what you see.
He has like fluorescent wings, but they look kind of like they have holes in them. They look a little ragged.
A little, probably can't fly anymore. Needs to do some maintenance. Needs to eat more protein.
Also has like a merman tail, maybe. No, not a merman tail. A
fish tail.
What are those big lizards called that
Gila monsters
came out of the water, evolved like that? Okay, it looks like a lizard who has recently evolved from being a fish.
Lizard man.
Lizard man.
I don't have the button ready, but yes. In other words, a monster from Evo Search for Eden.
Oh, sick pull. Yeah.
What do you got?
Gill things on face, entire skin spread, membrane shit on his wings, rainbow color from top to bottom. It's a great design and does well to complement his blue skin. This is one of the few things that actually does not look like total shit in Silver Star Harmony. They preserved the feather coloring of his wings.
Yeah, and I commented on how the Red Dragon kind of looked like shit, and especially in the remaster, the Red Dragon didn't look so well because it looked a little pixely in a situation when those pixels were meant to be filtered through a CRT.
A pixel situation.
But this one does not quite look as bad. You can see the intent of the design here, and I think it looks pretty good.
Null stands corrected. Wow, I guess that's a yes. The blue dragon is really pretty, Alex. I'm impressed. The blue dragon, a portraited character, then speaks and says, Yar.
Are you asking me to do... Oh, I thought you were asking me to do a blue dragon
Chris,
voice.
please do a blue dragon voice.
Okay. Yar.
Null says hello. Kyle says this is one laid-back dragon, and I impulsively wonder if Victor originally had a reference to marijuana in a first draft of his script.
This is the high dragon.
Hello, adventurers. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my lair. Hey, it's Lamia also. Something must be up if you've come all this way to see me.
Everyone else seems to no-sell that last line, but Mia's sprite turns around a few times and seems to panic, but she says, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm Lemia's daughter.
Yeah,
Mia.
I'm not my mom.
Rather than eat us, the blue dragon reacts kindly and invents a new word.
Really? Thunderation. That was a longer nap than I thought. So then, where is the goddess? I thought it was her song that woke me up. But then I remembered she wouldn't be able to do that. anymore.
Alex catches a cryptic reference to the goddess and asks, what's that?
There's another reference to shit being fucked up last
Yeah.
time the dragons were sentient.
And Alex is like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Rather than expand upon the lore, the blue dragon waves it off.
Sorry, I'm just rambling about things you wouldn't care anything about. I've always talked way too much. Secrets were not my forte. Alicia and Leticia
From the books in the library.
always joked that I should be called the Blathing Blue Dragon.
Instead of Alicia and Leticia, Blue Dragon name drops Roka and Lena in harmony.
Roka and Lena. This is just a vibe that I get from Alicia and Leticia. It feels like whoever localized those names was making fun of black people names.
I also got that feeling, but I didn't know if it was fair.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair. I'm not making that accusation.
Yeah.
But like, it just reminds me of like that kind of like over the edge racist humor. We're not explicitly like just shouting slurs, but we are making fun of the culture of a people that we deem less than us.
But I mean,
not we. I'm just saying like the way comedy worked.
yeah, but Dragon Masters, these are Dragon Masters.
Oh, I agree. I'm just talking about in general that kind of
okay,
like
yeah, I see what you mean.
dismissiveness. It'd be kind of like, you know, the famous Key and Peele sketch.
I've never seen Key and Peele.
Okay, there's a famous Key and Peele sketch where kind of make fun of names in black culture by like a teacher calling out for attendance or something. And it's pretty funny, but it's coming from Key and Peele.
Right.
So
you have a license to do that.
Yes. And this does not feel like there's a license to do that. That's what I'm saying is I could be overthinking this, but that's just like a vibe that I got and I thought I would express it.
Alex, those are names of the ancient Dragon Masters, is what Null says. Jessica then describes the blue dragon in a way I wish that I crave for people to describe me.
He's a little goofy, but he seems like the real deal.
The blue dragon continues speaking.
Alas, I just noticed that you have the wings and the shield.
Oh, are the wings the legendary thing? I thought the ring was.
They're fucking dragon wings. The white dragon gave them to us.
I thought Lake gave them to us. Actually,
Link got them from the white dragon.
I think the white dragon does give them to us in
They
Sega
are
CD.
called white dragon wings.
In Sega CD, I think that...
What do you think about my brothers? They are a little stodgy, if you ask me.
Stodgy, it's an interesting word.
And after telling you all this, I realize that I haven't yet heard your name.
No, Alex, he loves answering basic questions with his only voice dialogue. He says,
My name is Alex, and the white dragon has...
The blue dragon interrupts Alex to continue his shtick.
No sense of humor, I know. Don't you think it's ironic that the white dragon doesn't know how to lighten up?
It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Anyway, just being here means that you've already passed the trial.
So the trial was just like going through
The
whirlpools?
fucking whirlpools, yeah.
Or was
Whirlpool
it
trial.
or was the love singing?
No, no, I think it was whirlpools.
If you weren't qualified to be the Dragon Master, you couldn't have entered the shrine. So, you can't be a Dragon Master without the blue dragon helmet, right? Hold on a sec.
The screen then shakes. The blue dragon continues.
Okay, I've made a path to the helmet for you. Go on, check it out, kids.
Mia is very concerned about the state of our world, but she needs the blue dragon to know. But we have terrible news for you, blue dragon. My dude replies,
Oh, it's cold in here, I know. I was never going to convince the goddess to pop for a couple hot springs.
Does pop mean like spend money on?
yeah.
Interesting. Did she have mana?
Anyway, get out of here and grab your reward, Alex.
In harmony, Mia tells the blue dragon the world's in grave danger, but he tells Mia that's nothing new. The world has always been a place with ever-changing seasons of turbulence.
Yeah.
We have control. Did you speak to the blue dragon?
What's that, Alex? You don't know where to find the helmet? We already went over this. I don't know how I could have made it any simpler. Just walk into the room I opened for you.
Did you speak to the blue dragon again?
No.
It's been 15 years since the last Dragon Master, true, but that was Althena's choice. And what the goddess wants, children, the goddess gets. So you kids must know about the dragon equipment, right? It's a crystallized form of the power of each dragon, that's why it's strong. Yawn. Hey, sorry about the morning breath, kids. You wouldn't happen to have any minty fresh herbs I could gnaw on, would you? Wow, Mia, you look exactly like your mother did when she was your age. Check her roots. She's not a natural blonde. I remember the first time I met her, traveling alongside Galleon and Dine. So, how is that lovely lady these days anyway?
Mia replies, oh, well, she's... But the blue dragon finishes her sentence.
Stubborn as always, I know. You don't seem like you take after her, though. You're a lot quieter, for one thing.
That's something. Goes on for a while.
The joke is the blue dragon likes talking.
Yes.
Null replies, I didn't think the word quiet was in the blue dragon's vocabulary.
Hey, who sings the song that woke me up? I thought it was Althena, but that can't be. Hey, I hear singing up there in Lyton. Are they holding a festival or something? I would say to be rude, but go get the helmet.
That was me talking like the blue dragon. That's my blue dragon voice. Well, I leave to approach that new passageway, and Kyle comments on the obvious weirdness of the previous encounter. He says, I never thought I'd meet someone who talked as much as you, Null. Null replies, well, I'm not that obnoxious at least. Walk over there. I get in that cave. There's an orb, a pulsing blue orb.
Yes.
Null wonders if that shining light is the helmet. I go touch on it. I rub it. It makes a unique sound effect. Then plays a jingle as it CG cutscenes through a portal. It's a red helmet, one that I recognize from the box cover of this video game. And I get the dragon helmet.
Cool.
Jessica uses celebratory language. You did it, Alex. 3 dragons down, 1 to go. I wonder what's going to happen when you get the last piece of equipment.
Wow. I'm glad we got the helmet, but it kind of looks like just a hat.
Yeah, it's kind of just a hat.
It does look cool, though. I'll take it.
You then hear the sound of a dragon roaring and shit busting up real good.
Oh, no.
It's audible from the outside of this tiny cave.
Let's leave it on the hook for next time, Chris.
What that sound going to be, you'll learn on the next episode of Retro Made Podcast Amnesia Show.
Let's check in with RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Hello, RealNet. What's going on? How are you today? Mel says, it's speaking of JRPG influences, it's all wizardry and absolutely zero Ultima. I think we need to play Ultima, Eric. Let's play Ultima 4, Rise of the Avatar. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Can we
Quest
jump
of the
right
Avatar?
do we jump right to 4? Is that possible?
Yeah, you can jump right to 4.
Okay, we'll jump right to 4.
Racer says, fucked floor dungeons, weird movement tile dungeons, DQ did it all.
I think the only thing that I truly hate is, it's not quite box pushing, it's when there's a picture of like a 3x3 grid with 9 tiles, but there's only 8 tiles and you have to move the picture around, make a complete picture.
Yeah, slide puzzle?
Slide puzzle, thank you for saying the actual word for that. Fuck that shit.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me. Cal L discovered that there is a bobgoblin.com.
What's a Bob? What is? I must know the information here. What is it? Bobgoblin.com.
It's an alternative indie, non-classifiable pop punk rock group from Dallas, Chicago, Little Rock, and Ann Arbor.
I don't like the shorts this man is wearing on the front.
Okay, are they cargo shorts?
They're. The picture scrolls through, so I'm gonna have to.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. Continue.
They're wearing uniforms with numbers on them.
Oh, good.
Continue, please. I'm sorry.
Let's play some Bob Goblin in the background.
Helmel says that you said, I love returning to Mother, and yet Earthbound lost the poll for Season 8, so we are not returning to Mother.
No, that's my personal Oedipal complex. Bob Goblin's last show was Saturday, August 9th, 2017. We fucking miss Bob Goblin.
Damn. The dude says that he has called himself under the counter on his work phone from his personal phone in order to take a call.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
You got to be really crafty to do that.
Yeah.
I used to have hand signals with someone I worked with where I would call him if he needed to bail out from some kind of fucked up situation.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't fake that call. It wouldn't be a fake call. We'd actually really call him.
Yeah. Well, that works too. Wumbo says, my kids 100% poke things with sticks until they stink. Then they're over it. That's the limit. They all have a limit.
Until they stink. Yeah. Until you flip it over and you see the worms that are devouring them.
Yeah.
Poke with a stick is a metaphor for I used in my review of Nobi Nobi Boy. Because it wasn't so much of a game as a thing that you poked with a stick to see what it did.
Yes. Yeah, that is the entire philosophy of that game, which was great.
Well, that and obviously get girl to the edge of the universe. Yeah.
Stretch boy.
No, you stretch boy to get girl.
Yeah, stretch boy to get girl, and then girl stretches too, though, right?
By stretching boy, you stretch girl.
Okay, good.
It all adds up. We all stretch boy to add up to stretch girl.
Okay,
we collectively stretch boy.
Collectively
to extend girl.
Gotcha. I'm with you. Azel has a good thought exercise for us. Isn't every single JRPG Retrograde Amnesia has covered thus far been about breaking a cycle in some way? Xenogears, yes. Chrono Cross, yes. Final Fantasy VIII,
the cycle of sorceresses, sorcerer.
Yes, because Ultimecia was like
reincarnation of.
But it was.
I don't remember.
I think Final Fantasy VIII was the cycle.
Yeah.
Itself. Suikoden?
Not really.
Well, Suikoden 2, there is a cycle of friends fighting friends.
Yeah, but it's not like an eternal damnation cycle.
That's true. I'm talking about the relationship between, tell me if you remember either one of these names, Han Cunningham and Ginkaku.
Not really.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the game, so in case you haven't.
I mean, one of the hardest things to do as an adult is find a cycle that is poisoning your life and try to do things to break out of the cycle, because we all just return to old habits that are easy quite easily.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I can see how that metaphor extends out to a full-blown narrative.
Yeah, that's just life, actually.
We love patterns, but we also must evade these patterns if we want to live a new and novel life.
Victor Man says, is there a reason why Gallia needs to capture all the singers in the PlayStation version? It seems like something that carried over from the Sega CD version, but they didn't know Luna was the singer they needed. But since Quark tells Galleon in the PlayStation version, why do they need the singers in that version?
Yeah, there are a lot of like legacy things that held over that they didn't quite know what to do with. That is included.
Maybe they just needed her for that one moment in which she decided to sing with the other girls. So that Luna would sing and make magic songs with the other girls so that Luna's song would become powerful enough for her to evolve.
It's like a domino
I don't know.
type thing. Perhaps.
WP says Parasite E2 has a slide puzzle that can be solved in multiple ways.
Take it off the board. We're not playing Parasite. My desire to play Parasite Eve 2 is diminished significantly. Just kidding. I'd love to play that game.
Oh yeah, Ragnarok says the Renoa equals Ultimisia fan theory implies the breaking of the cycle.
Okay. We probably said that on our Final Fantasy VIII conspiracy bonus episode.
Yeah, what a great episode that was. Patreon.com/RetroIM.
Great concept.
To find that, I don't know whose idea that was, but whoever it was, good job. Might have been me, might have been you, who knows. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on May 17th, 2025. Thank you, Mark, for the intro music.
You're welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Steph, for the podcast artwork. You can find us on Bluesky and or YouTube at Retrograde Amnesia. We have an internet website. We've had an internet website in the past, but now our internet website is something that is made by me and not just a RSS feed.
Yes, and Chris is a bit egotistical. He made 100% of it. I didn't do shit.
I mean, yeah, I used WordPress and some plugins and stuff and figured some stuff out. Anyway, but we also now own the domain retroam.com, which helps if you don't know how to spell retrograde amnesia, which is kind of hard to spell a little bit. You can miss the thing, miss the E's and the I's. A
lot of vowels.
A lot of vowels in there. So you can go to retrogradeamnesia.com or retroam.com. If you like this podcast, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam and get ad-free early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, live streams, and other stuff. Until next time, Eric.
Please watch The Marty Show featuring the guest, Bob Goblin.
Have a big dream.
Ephesians chapter 6, verses 8. Starting off great here.
It's more of a hat, but we'll get there when we cross.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there when we cross. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Thanks, Chris.
They do. The green-haired men.
The first hair. In my video game, which is now different, he says, 3 of us here to keep monsters inside the wind shrine, but we really first 3 people monsters eat when they come out. Never used to be monsters inside shrine. Why monsters now? Wind shrine is sacred place. Always make beautiful song. Why monsters go inside there and hurt it?
Okay, so maybe it had something to do with the order in which I spoke with him in the Elder and stuff like that. But he does still talk fucked up in both versions then.
Yes, and also may have to cut that. I just read the before time. Cut that. Fuck it.
Cut that. Fuck it. Do you know what this cave configuration, or I'm sorry.
Wow, I just got a wizard.
I also want to fight what I think it... There, and they were there for another hour.
That's interminable.
Yes.
I mean, it's interesting that a Catholic school will try to simulate hell as closely as possible.
The drag inserted...
Sick dog joke.
Can I read that again? I heard myself read it wrong, but I think I read it right.
No, have the listeners listen to it again, too. Chris, say the exact same content.
I'm sure they do. If everyone refers to the dogs... Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay, it was right the first time.
Good job, Chris.
Yes.
We're telling truths here only. No lies, no deceptions.
And never.
Look at them and say, I have diarrhea. I have to go.
I actually do have to take a phone call real quick.
There's also a green-haired boy in this room. He says, I give thanks to you for restoring the song of Lyton, green-eyed boy. I hope that you'll... I say green-eyed boy, green-haired boy. Kyle tells this kid he'd love... Sorry, Chris's yawn fucked me up.
Sorry. No, it is 16 by 9.
What the fuck? How'd they do that?
They just pulled it
out. Stretched it?
They didn't stretch it. They just pulled it out. They haven't rendered the whole thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about the anime?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
The anime, I'm sorry.
There are villagers. That's not a way anyone talks. Are we doing the Blue Dragon Shrine?
I feel like we should. Maybe even if this episode goes a little longer, just for continuity purposes. But you are going to have to make a judgment on how much.
Let's do it until we get to the Blue Dragon.
Okay.
How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of fucking shit.
Okay, I don't remember exactly what happens when we get there, so.
It's also a rainbow color from top to bottom. It's a great design, and one that does well to complement his blue skin. How do you feel about the way it looks, Chris?
Who are you talking about?
The Blue Dragon.
We didn't go through the cave.
I've got Blue Dragon area.
You're talking to the Blue Dragon?
Yeah.
But we didn't fight the enemies and do the dungeon. I'm like, who the fuck has gills? Is there no dungeon?
You know what I did? After the Sega CD thing, I scrolled down and I went too far. I missed the Blue Dragon Shrine entirely. Fuck me.
No,
We'll
I
have to
thought
delete all that.
For a minute, I was like, I thought you said that Null was growing gills. Like, that's where I was with this. I was so confused.
I basically hit page down and just miss an entire page. There's not actually Yeah, that isn't a whole lot left to that dragon helmet. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just do the whole Blue Dragon. Who gives a shit?
I'm not saying, or I think there's a 100% chance or possibility that
there cannot be.
I'm overthinking this.
Okay, you mind fucked me with 100% possibility. I'm like, how's that possible?
There is a possibility of a 100% chance that I feel that way.
Okay,
that doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure. 10% works every time. Yeah,
you catch my vibe.
It goes on. I'm not really doing it goes on for just keep vibing.
All right, here we go.
It's not quite box puzzing, but he says something completely different in mine.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish yours.
Did I find any brain pickers, Eric? Yes. Null says, I think those notes... I think...
Null says...
Victor says, no.
Kind of.
I've been thinking about... I've been thinking about Victor,
Can't get Victor.
from Suikoden because of Suikoden Starleap.
What time is it?
4 o'clock.
No. Not doing that.
Okay.
Maybe. Talk to me later.
You really don't have to come to
it might be fun.
If you do come, tell me and I'll pay for your intro. Your intro.
Your
entry fee, sorry.
What the fuck? You all charge? They charge for little kid soccer?
You gotta
bunch of bullshit.
You gotta raise money to buy the goals
I'll
and
look
shit.
from over the fence.
Do you know how much money they gave me to fund my soccer team this year?
$13.
$0.
It's just like teaching.
Do you know how much money I've spent on the soccer team?
$280.
I don't know, but I do buy popsicles every week.
There you go.
So.
Flavor Ice or the good ones?
The good ones.
Good. I was going to call you a cheap bastard.
I was going to do Flavor Ice, but I did not want to have to cut the scissors.
Cut the thing and then pick up the little plastic pieces?
Yeah.
Pain in the ass, dude. It's not worth it.
Anyway.
So we've really brought life. Bottom right half.
I think they might be grossed out by that.
Cool. The chief tells me, Alex, you've done it. You've returned the song of the Valley of Us. What he says? You've returned the song of the Valley of Us?
He says, Alex, you've...
He didn't cut it, and it's funnier if I live it in...
That probably...
I will not have this audio for the original because it wasn't the fucking video I was capturing from. They edited it out.
Weird.
Mm-hmm. Audio missing from the original. Here's what that sounds like on PSP. Blue Dragon Lake. Music. Do you say dope? What?
No, go ahead. I fought a... What are those things called?
Are we leaving that on the hook for next time, Chris?
Good work. You're as good as they said.
Playtime's over!